Okay, welcome back. Solo role Mangging, Shadow the Weird Wizard, Shadow of the Beakmen. So unfortunately, since the last video, my computer blue screened, obviously abruptly, and I had not saved the files because I had to rush out last time. So I had to redo a lot, actually. I had to redo everything from the last two videos that I had changed, including all my level ups. But I believe I got it mostly where it was. Checking my video and stuff. The only thing I changed is I got rid of the our alteration talent. I went instead with Unnerving Mask. Because people are saying that you really you don't get that many talent choices, you know. Even a mage that goes for the most talents possible, you know, throughout their selections, will end up with only 6. Mostly, you know, you'll get like 4 or something like that. So you don't get many talents, and you don't really want like at-will attacks or something that's really minor that you can just spam. You want stuff that's going to be useful from level 1 to 10. So, and you definitely want stuff that's also defensive, just in case shit hits the fan and you get attacked. So, Unnerving Mask Alteration is a reaction when you're attacked. The creature makes a will roll. If they fail the will roll, they are pushed 1 yard away from you and become frightened of you until start of your turn. It's not once per day. You lose access to it and comes back when you make your luck roll. So you could get it multiple times per fight, but for sure you're going to have it every fight, which is pretty good. Frightened. While you have line of sight to the source of your fear, you make attribute rolls with 1 Bane, and you grant 1 boon on attribute rolls against you. So frightened is a pretty rough condition to have, and a very nice thing to put on enemies, especially if they become frightened of you. Just because they're frightened of you does not mean that your allies don't also get the benefit. So, yeah, it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Alright, right. So last time, you know, we encountered this village that was under siege. It was getting ravaged by crocodile knights and beakmen and stuff. And we found this astral shadow of some leader figure on the beach who summoned this massive obelisk, out of which poured 23 beakmen. Now, of course, that was a fight that you're not really meant to win, I don't think, in Dungeon Crawl Classics. Not as a straight up fight. I mean, just because we're running DCC stuff. Let me generate here real quick a random level 1 DCC character. Let's say a warrior. Okay. Hold on. Can I give him... We'll give him Battle Axe, and we'll give him Chainmail. I think that's fairly normal. Okay. So this level 1 fighter that I just generated has 7 hit points, 15 armor class. He has +1 on his attack roll, and he swings for 1d10 with his battle axe +1. Okay. This is a fairly standard non-min-max kind of warrior. If we look at the Beakman, as written here, they roll at +1, so they need a 14 or higher to hit our warrior, which is, you know, not amazing. He's not even using a shield or anything, and he probably could get something better than chainmail. Possibly. It's hard to say. But, you know, if he gets surrounded by 7 of them, he's going to get hit. Probably a couple times, at least. And they each swing for 1d5 plus 1. So, an average of probably 3 damage. Which means he could take 2, maybe 3 hits, you know, before dying. And he would, you know. It's not like Weird Wizard. You're not bouncing up and down all the time. You're dead. But they only have 4 health, so if he could avoid getting hit, you know, bring them on one at a time, he probably could kill a decent number of them. But that was the problem, is that we weren't fighting them one at a time, and Martin was surrounded by 7 of them all at once. So, yeah, if you're running DCC, that was not really a fight you were meant to just stand and deliver. But it's a very different kind of game, you know. This is old school, kind of dark, kind of sort of fantasy where characters are not gods. Shadow of the Weird Wizard, much more akin to D&D 5th edition or 4th edition, where, you know, characters are pretty hardy and capable and kind of heroic. Very fantastical. So running these old school adventures with this, it's sort of odd. But, you know, if I wanted that to be a fight that we weren't meant to win, or would be very difficult to win straight up, I could have just bumped up stats. I could have just bumped up the enemy stat block, you know? Anyways, also, I was looking up in the Discord quite a bit about grabs and being held and stuff like that. And I couldn't find a whole lot of discussion about it, but I did find one discussion where they seem to imply that yes, you can get grabbed by multiple creatures, and as the rules seem to be written, it's one action to try to break one grab. So if you're grabbed by 4 things, you're kind of screwed. A nicer DM might say it's an escape attempt to break all with 1 extra Bane per additional grabbed. I don't know. It's hard to say what I would end up ruling it. It may come to that soon, because that's a pretty powerful thing. Because if each creature can then wrestle you to the ground, that means each creature could deal a guaranteed 1d6 damage. And if you don't have any assistance, and you get grabbed once, then every other creature automatically succeeds on their grab against you. So in the span of 1 round, you could suddenly be grabbed 5 times. And then the following turn, you take you actually, you can't even use... If you're just grabbed, I think you can use reactions. But if you're pinned, if you're prone, you can't. So you could take initiative, and say you break 1 grab, you escape out of 1 grab, you're still grabbed 4 times, and they all will wrestle you, and you take 4d6 damage. And then the next turn, you break 1 more grab, except the other guy re-grabs you. So you take another 4d6 damage. And so on and so forth. And you're not going to be up for very long. You're not going to be alive for very long at that rate if you got no help. So I think that's a very... And those rules were not at all in Demon Lord. That's all Weird Wizard. And I wonder if it's sort of intended to be a response to the high defense. Especially some of these characters can get very high defense. You know, you start taking on like superior full plate at 19 defense, and a superior shield that's 22 defense, without even getting into any other like ability shenanigans or spell shenanigans or anything like that. You could probably get a pretty absurd defense where level 1 creatures by default could literally never hit you. It would be impossible for them to just try and attack and hit you. But that doesn't... Your strength is not going to be... your strength is not going to be 25. Your strength might be 15, but 5 creatures trying to grab you at 15, they're going to grab you, and then everyone else grabs you for free. So, yeah, honestly, I think that is... I don't know if it's intentional or just, like, a positive side effect of these rules, but I see it, and I think that it's... because it just makes sense for them to pile on you, you know? Rather than this sort of JRPG, like, I'll hit you, you hit me. It's like, fuck that. Dogpile him and choke him out until he's dead. So I'm going to be working on that. And I definitely have a couple players in my group normally that like to stack defense to absurd heights. So grab and wrestle is the way to go. Yeah, I was just kind of glancing through some of the expert paths to see if there's anything that bumped up defense even more. Probably not super common, but I guarantee there's a master path. I don't know. Not gonna really sit here and I guarantee there's spells under like protection or something like that. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and look at spells for an hour. Well, there's definitely plenty of things to impose Bane on enemy attacks without strictly just increasing your defense. Yeah. All right. Anyways. So, yeah, we're going to probably incorporate that more. If we encounter another big group of Beakmen, they're probably going to dogpile Sir Martin. Maybe I wouldn't do it round 1. But one round goes by where 7 of them try to hit him and none of them succeed, and they're just scratching their claws against his plate armor or whatever, plate and mail armor. Then so round 2, yeah, they might start dogpiling him. Alright, assault on the obelisk. The tower is uniformly cold and wet, and there's little in the way of comfort. The chill stone walls and floors lack any decoration or adornment. Similarly, there is no ambient light, save as noted in the text. Stink of muck, and the sound of dripping water is ubiquitous throughout. Alright, so we have a quick discussion amongst ourselves that, you know, we still hear the sounds of slaughter and horribleness behind us in the village, but we know that whoever's ever in there running the show has to be taken care of, so we gotta get in there. So we step in. The gaping stone maw opens into a large cavern. Black mud drips from the ceiling and crawls down the walls, pooling on the floor. The stink of black rot chokes your lungs, and the constant rain of dripping sludge echoes through the still chamber. So there's 2-foot deep sludgy slime. The mud is ever present, sucking the warmth from the PC's boots, dripping on their head from above, and filling the air with a foul stink. At first glance, there are no exits from the cave. However, there are 2, both covered in slime. Scraping at the walls quickly reveals the circular stone portal set with deep holes and secured by strange bronze discs. Okay, Portals open at the command of anyone bearing a greenstone shard. Alternately, the magical binds may be picked by a thief, DC 20 pick lock check, or be destroyed after taking 20 points of damage. However, failing to do either in a single round alerts the Beakmen in Area 1-2, causing the troop to throw open the portal and pour into the chamber. Okay. I would doubt that most groups are gonna find the portals and open them in a single round. I think that's unlikely. And it says, unless the party's taken explicit precautions, such as declaring we keep a close watch on the walls, they risk surprise. Call for a luck check, roll under, by the PC with the worst luck. Yeah, okay. I guess in this case, I would just have somebody roll a luck check with probably one Bane. Because you have to roll under the PC with the worst luck. Which means that, you know, probably you're looking at... I mean, our warrior example here has 10 luck. Which I think is fairly standard. But you can burn luck in DCC. Oh, here, I just regenerated it a few times. I got someone with 5 luck. So, yeah, I would say the character with the worst luck is probably going to be like a 7, maybe. Possibly worse. So, it's unlikely for you to not be surprised here. So, I'd say a luck roll with 1 Bane. Let's go with that. We rolled a 1. -5. We got a -4. We're definitely getting surprised. So the portals burst open, and 8 Beakmen guards rush out, and they get a free round where we can't take actions. So we can take reactions, and we can move, from what I understand. That's how we ran it last time we did surprise. Alright, so it says Beakmen guard, but really they just mean a Beakman. I don't think they're intended to be a different creature. Only 3 types of creatures in this adventure. But, you know, we don't have to keep it that simple. We could go with a newer type, a Beakman guard. Oh god, what stat block did I go for? It was something very basic. Some sort of wretch or something, right? What's a different option here? We want to give them weapons of some kind. I don't want to make it... Yeah, every fight we've done has been pretty easy, to be honest. So, I don't know if I can really be too rough on myself. I don't know if I want to do 8 difficulty 2 creatures, though. That seems... I mean, maybe? It definitely would be listed as a hard encounter. I don't know. What... Let me go to just, like, the soldiers or something. Priests, raiders? These guys have a lot of text. Do we want spears, do we think? Or, like, I don't know. I'm looking at this Raider Wildling. Wildling. 12 defense, 10 health. Rolls +1 with 1 boon. 1d6 damage only, but it does have the brutal trait. And we can just throw 8 of them in. Let's do that. We're gonna go Beakmen. Beakmen guard. Defense 12, health 10, speed 5. Oh, here you go. Vicious trait. I didn't even see that. When the Beakmen guard rolls damage, roll twice and use the higher result. Excellent. Hatchet. Brutal. Prone 5. +1 with 1 boon. 1d6 damage. Not an insane amount of damage, but in mass and letting them roll twice using the higher one. Yeah. Chances are they're going to do some pain. Especially with that boon. This opening round could be very, very painful. Oh yeah, I was going to combat recovery. Pretend I did that ages ago. So we heal half. We're down to 10 then. Everyone else is pretty good. Okay, so we get a surprise round. I think everyone's going to be targeted a little bit here. They're jumping us. They're ambushing us. It says we can't use actions. Don't know. It's really something I should also look up in the Discord. If you can use reactions during a surprise. The way that we used to do it back in my day for a surprise round is you're just sitting there, you know? You can't do shit. So that's probably how I would run it. Yeah, all it says is, if an ambush happens, the ambushed can take no actions on their first turn. No actions. I don't know. I think it's just a free round. That's usually how it goes. So let's put 3 on Sir Martin, 3 on Felix, 1 on Garvis, 1 on Euclid. You know, that's combat as a game, you know, instead of combat as war. If it were combat as war, yeah, they'd probably look towards the lesser armored ones first. You know, and just surround them and butcher them. We'd have 4 on Euclid, 4 on Garvis, and no one would be really pleased about it. So this is a bit more balanced, but spreads the love to everybody. Alright. So, 3 on Sir Martin. He has 18 defense. They get a +1. So that's 15. Okay, so that's a hit for sure. So we'll roll twice, take the high result. He takes 6 right out the gate. This is not looking good. Second one, rolled an 18. That's a hit. Rolls twice, takes the high result. That's another 3. So he's at 19. Third one, also a hit. Jesus. Just rolls twice. Okay. He barely survived. Shockingly, he's still on his feet. Insane. Felix, same thing. It's much worse, though. He's got 13 defense. I think I had him listed as 15 because I didn't take away his shield last time. But he's got a 13. Not good. That boon is a pretty big factor, actually. Pretty fucking big factor. So first one is a 6 plus a 4 plus 1 is 11. That's a miss. Second one is an 8. That's a hit. So 5 damage. Third one is a 5, so that's a miss no matter what. Okay, not too bad. Garvis, he's got 1 on him. 12 defense. He rolled a 2. Okay. And Euclid, 14 defense. The high, not the lowest defense, actually. And that's an 11 plus 3. 14 is a hit. He's going to take 4 damage. Okay, so that was the opening round, the surprise round. Sir Martin is almost dead. Garv is still untouched, but everyone has some adjacent to them. And thankfully, they only have 10 health, 12 defense, but they are potentially really painful, and they can hit. Because without dodge, we don't really have a means of easily throwing out Banes onto targets. All right. So Euclid's going to take the initiative for sure because he's got to. Oh, I used shared recovery as well. We do have Holy Symbol for an extra 3d6 heal at some point. But Euclid's going to do another light healing. So that's going to be on Sir Martin for a total of 5. Not great. Also taking the initiative is going to be Garvis. I know he gets dodge, but he'd rather take a step back and just kill this guy rather than risk the dodge. Because he has the lowest defense. And if they have a boon, you know, it's just kind of their flat roll. So they hit 50% of the time. And he'd rather just kill him. So he's going to take the initiative, retreat to step back, and then fire off an arrow at the guy next to him. Not good. He rolled a 2. Which means that he needs a 6 on this boon. And he didn't get it. So he missed. And now he's kind of fucked. Alright. Pretty bad. But he's got quite a bit of health, and he has swift recovery still. So if he gets hit again, it's not the end of the world. As for the other 2, do they take the initiative? I don't think Sir Martin can handle another 3. I mean, dodge does prevent 1, for sure. But so does killing 1. He could take the initiative to defend. And that means that if someone does get through his defense, he can then make a luck roll to nullify it. But is that better than just killing 1? Which nullifies a lot of potential. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's not a good position no matter what. But I guess he'll try and kill 1. So he'll take the initiative. He's going to swing longsword and shield bash. He rolled a fucking 1. Yeah, there's no saving that. Terrible rolls. This might be a TPK. Felik then... I mean, obviously, you all have to declare if you're taking the initiative at the same time, but... he'll probably take the initiative. Tempted to use just Holy Symbol on Sir Martin. But I gotta kill one of these bastards this round. So he'll take the initiative and just swing with his battle axe at one next to him. I rolled another fucking 1. Oh my god. This is bad. Okay, but I have Battle Blessing. So... No, but I can't do it. It's a reaction. Yeah, it's just nothing. We have to repeat that whole thing that we just did. Okay, here we go. Sir Martin, first one. Miss. Second one. Probably a hit. It's a 15 plus 2, 17. Miss. Okay, third one. Miss. Excellent. Feely, first one. Definitely a hit. So, 6 damage. Second one. Definitely a hit. For 4 damage. He's got 1 damage left. Third one. Definitely a hit. Doesn't matter. He's down. He's at 18, so he's down. Incapacitated. The guy next to Garvis steps forward and swings at him. Gets a definite hit for 3 damage. And the one next to Euclid still. I don't think casting a spell in melee range means anything. That's only ranged attacks, and there's no opportunity attacks for casting a spell in melee, as far as I saw. Yeah, so that wasn't a problem. Yeah, okay. So the one next to Euclid will swing as well. 10 plus, okay, that's 14. That's a hit for 6 damage. This might be the death of us. I don't really have any AoE that's going to make a difference here. And I feel like I still have to keep healing. Luck roll at the end of the round for Felik. He succeeds, so he's at 17. He's on the ground, conscious. But that's fine for the most part. Okay, Euclid will take the initiative to cast his third light healing. To heal 2d6. 4. Jesus, come on. And then past that, everyone's just going to take the initiative to try and kill. What else can we do? So Felik will swing his battle axe. That's a hit. Okay, so that's 3d6 without sanctified weapon. 3d6. Yep. For 8 damage only. Oh, wait, the bonus damage. Whoops, forgot that. 9 damage. Fuck! Jesus. I don't think that all difficulty 1 creatures are created equally, because these seem a lot harder. Definitely seems harder. Sir Martin is going to try and kill one. Rolls an 8, 13. Okay, that's a hit, so that's 4d6. 14. We got one. Garvis steps back. And fires. That's okay, that's a hit. Good. for 3d6. 11 damage. Alright, he killed his. Guess that's okay, but he has the most health to spare, so I don't know if it's okay. Alright, then it's all their turns. 3 on Felix, 2 on Sir Martin, 1 on Euclid. So 2 on Sir Martin. Oops, nope. Okay, that's definitely a hit. So that's 6 damage, which means that Sir Martin is down. Which probably means the other one is going to go over to Garvis. So we'll roll for that. That's a hit. For 6 damage. Okay. That vicious trait in mass is not pleasant. And again, having a boon. Once the enemies start getting boons at, you know, pretty early on, it's pretty painful. Makes them much more likely to hit. I'm quite surprised they gave them at difficulty 1 that boon with the vicious trait. It seems a little overtuned. I don't know. Maybe because I'm finally just getting my ass handed to me that I'm like, no, this isn't fair. Then we got 3 on Felix. He's almost certainly gonna die. 8. So that's 9, 11. That's a miss. Second one, that is gonna be a hit for 3 damage. Putting him at 16. Third one, definitely a hit for 4 damage. He is down as well. And then there's still 1 on Euclid. Miss. Okay. Not good. Luck rolls. I didn't mention it. Felix just stood up. It costs 4 movement of his 5 speed. So there's no opportunity to attack. So he just stood and continued to fight. So if we keep making luck rolls, maybe. Sir Martin, luck roll. Success. Felix, the luck roll. Fail. He's still down. And he actually loses 1d6 health. 4. So he's at 14. 14. Oh, boy. Not looking good. New round. We still have 6 of the 8. We have not been doing well. A lot of failure. They only have 12 defense. We've got boons as well. It's not fair. I got no more heals. No more light healing. Really wish I had taken more AoE. I'm not sure what I was thinking. That's the one thing I could really use. But alright, we'll take the initiative. We want to guarantee a kill. Because 1 health enemy is just as painful and dangerous as a full health enemy. So we're going to use Lesser Ruin right out the gate. And I'm going to kill this 1 health dude. Not even going to roll because it doesn't matter. Alright. That nullifies that. I think that was 1 on Felix. So 2 on Felix. 1 on Garvis, 1 on Euclid, and then 1 had just knocked down Sir Martin. So I guess he's going to stay on Sir Martin. But the ones that were on Felix are probably going to move. So there's that. Garvis will do the same thing. He'll step back again, shoot an arrow at the guy on him. He hit for 8 damage. Surprise, surprise. The 3d6 is not pulling through. But there's no way for a rogue at level 2 to grab any extra bonus damage. So, yeah, in a strictly like combat-oriented scenario like the one we're doing, it probably would be better for Garvis to also be a fighter. Because then he'd get more health He'd get access to the boon automatically. But at the same time, Trickery does give him the extra D6 that he would get anyways. And Crack Shot doesn't increase his damage at all. So getting more than 3d6 out of a bow at level 2 is very difficult. Unless you take spells. And he could have taken some buff spells. Which would, you know, it would be better to be a rogue. Because then you can take spells. And he could have taken Sanctified Weapon. You know, or he could take the war tradition. Although I think that's mostly melee. So yeah, Sanctified Weapon would definitely be nice. An extra 1d6 and an extra boon on everything. There's probably some other things, like maybe there's poison that you could apply, or I don't know, you know, I'm not going to go through. Again, I could just sit here and read off all the spells to you for a few hours, but we're not going to do that. We got concerns here. So, this guy's at 2 health. Sir Martin is going to stand. Obviously, he doesn't want to spend a turn on the ground. So, he's got to take the initiative. He's got to stand. He's got to swing at the guy next to him. Let's try and put him down. So, that's crit. Good. That helps. That's 5d6. And I can roll twice. 21 damage. Dead. Alright, and then Felik, it doesn't have an option, so he's down, and that's the end of our turns. So the 2 that were on Felik will go to Sir Martin. We still have 1 on Euclid, and we still have 1 on Garvis, the 2 health one. So the 2 health one is going to roll. He got a 10, which is guaranteed to be a hit. Because we can't dodge, because we keep taking the initiative. In theory, taking the initiative and killing stuff is good, assuming you kill them. But I am not. So this is a hit for 4 damage, putting him at 13. Euclid, swing. Boon, that's a hit. 5 damage. Euclid is also down now. And then we've got 2 on Sir Martin. Maybe he'll avoid it. 13. Nope. That's a hit, and it doesn't matter. Technically, the other one could move then, since they go in order. So the other one will go to Garvis, swing, and miss. We have 3 characters down currently. Great! I could ditch the short bow now and pull out the dagger and short sword. It's basically the same thing. You're still looking at 3d6 damage. It's just I don't have to move every time. So I could not take the initiative and then dodge, I suppose. It's hard to say. Alright, but end of round. Sir Martin's luck roll, success, so he's still at 21. Felix's luck roll is a success, so he's at 13. And Euclid's luck roll, success, 13. Okay, so everyone got back up. Or everyone's conscious, at least. That's good, because we're going to be taking the initiative. Euclid will stand and cast, we want to make sure we kill this guy next to us, so cast Scorching Ray. We'll roll with 1 boon. That's definitely a hit for 4d6 damage. Dead. For sure, dead. Garvis will take a step back from both of the... There's 2 on him, I believe, and he wants to shoot this 2 health one. He hit for sure. 12 damage, dead. That's what we like to see. Again, specific positioning, I don't know, especially with them prone and having to stand up and blah. I don't know. It's a pretty tight fight. That's how we're running it. So, Sir Martin will stand and go after one of these guys. Roll. Crit. Definitely crit. So, 5d6 twice. Dead for sure. And then Felik will do the same thing. He'll use prayer, finally. And he rolled a 1. So he misses, no matter what. The last one probably flees, to be honest. It would be weird if he didn't flee. And none of us have free attacks. Usually for my family, I'm kind of generous and I let them like fire upon the guy one more time as he runs. Yeah, I don't usually let them like chase them down or anything. Unless they specifically say like we're gonna chase after him. It's like okay, but I don't, if it's not an opportunity attack situation, I usually just let the archers fire one last arrow. If nobody says anything otherwise. So sure. We'll let Garvis fire one last arrow at this guy running away. He's at full health, so, 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 1 is a miss. Jesus. Okay, so one guard got away. Probably bad, right? Alright, so here's a map of the obelisk. So we're here. It was a pretty cramped room for 8. They all came through here. So he fled back through this portal, and he went up to 1-5. Kind of need to know. Okay. There's just a warlord on the throne there, and it says you could potentially sneak past. I don't know how you would do that based on this map, but we'll just nullify that and add in one more Beakmen guard that's like, cowering behind the warlord. But alright, encounter over. Fucking yikes, man. Heroic fantasy, sure, but that was brutal. So yeah, I'll have to remember that stat block for the Raider Wildling, difficulty 1. Not super easy. So here's the Orc Drudge, the only difficulty 1 Orc. 10 defense, 10 health. They have a spear. They roll with +2, no boon, just +2, dealing 2d6 damage. Okay. I mean, that's... If they land hits, that tends to probably be more damaging. But they don't get the boon, which is a big thing. It's a big swing. The boon averages out, turning the +1 to a +4. So that's a lot bigger than a +2. Most difficulty 1 creatures do not have boons. I mean, here's a difficulty 2 creature, it doesn't have a boon. But the Orc Drudge does have Bloodthirsty. When the result of their roll to attack is 5 or less, roll a d20 and add the number rolled to the result. That's pretty swingy. So 25% of the time, well, it has to be the result is 5 or less, and they have the +2. So it's pretty unlikely for that to ever occur unless they are given a Bane. But yeah, it's almost like they want Banes. They want to get 5 or less. Adding a D20 to it, that averages out to like a +11 or something. Pretty big. But still, you know, if you get a 5 and you add 11 to it, that's only a 16. Against higher defense people, that's still a miss. Anyways, I think the Orc Judge is probably weaker than the Beakmen Guard. There's just too many factors that add up for the... Not the Beakmen Guard, the Raider Wildling. There's too many factors that add up for the Raider Wildling and just make it closer to a difficulty 2. And I wonder if it's... I don't know, maybe some sort of error there, some sort of typo or something. All the Raiders have Vicious, so clearly that's meant to be there. They're all meant to have that trait. Honestly, the only thing that I really change is probably the boon. I think the boon is a bit too much. Maybe to make it +2 to attack and nix the boon. But, I mean, we did win, so I can't say too much. I can't argue too much. We did win. It was a balanced average encounter that we won. It's just was really painful. And now we're practically dead and we have no healing. Oh boy. Let's see. We do have spell recovery, where Euclid could heal half his damage total, which would bring him down to 7 damage, I think. And he would recover all his novice castings, which would give us all light healing back, our lesser ruin back, 2 scorching rays back, and wall of radiance. It's not optimal, but it's not the worst either. The thing, I know as the DM here that I have 5 hours in game to deal with this. I don't think players would really think about that or know about that or anything like that. They would think that maybe they're on a time limit of some kind. There's a sense of urgency here. They want to get in here. They don't want to go sleep in some other village for the night. But we have these poultices, which if you leave it on someone for an hour, they heal 1d6 damage. It's not amazing, but it's free healing. And we could probably spare an hour here. Right? We're in dire straits. We also have swift recovery for Garvis, so he can heal half his damage total. And I suppose we'll use that. So he heals 6, bringing him to 7. We just have a lot of characters at death's door. Healing 1d6 by itself is not going to make much of a difference, but it's better than not healing 1d6. So, yeah, I guess we're going to sit here in the muck and put on some poultices. It's kind of horrible. Maybe we'd step back outside and watch the village burn for an hour. That's 5 hours seems like an eternity. Well, that's what it says. So, alright. So I'm going to delete these 3 poultices. They're handy things to have, though. How much do they cost normally? 1 silver. Yeah, it'd be pretty easy to just grab like 10 of these. And assuming you have an hour to sit around. Okay. So Martin is going to heal 5. Felix is going to heal 4. And Euclid is going to heal 3. Well, great. I mean, it sort of works out, but it's not great. Alright. And when the hour up, we head back into the muck. And we're going to 1, 2. We're going to follow through cautiously where this guy ran. The floors and walls of the small stone chamber have been worn smooth from the tread of many talons. At the start of the adventure, 8 Beakmen lurk here, squatting on the cold stone floor. However, odds are good that they have been alerted to the PC's presence and have rushed to the tower's defense, leaving the chamber empty. Yeah. So then we're going to probably head up the stairs here. Why wouldn't we? So we're going to 1-5. A massive cavern looms before you. The floor is covered in a deep coat of mud, with intermittent mounds of sticks and furs. At the far end chamber, a massive armored beakman lazes atop a great throne of skulls. The giant seems lost in reverie, gazing into a still, inky pool at its feet. So this is the warlord of the Crocodile Knights. He no longer takes part in the raids, believing them beneath his dignity. Instead, he remains in the obelisk, dreaming of ancient conquests and vanquished foes, when the great tribes of Beakmen spread terror across the plains of existence. The Warlord is a canny foe. He aims to dupe the PCs into attacking first, allowing the ancient crocodile, which is in the water in front of him, to attack with surprise. Careful parties, wary of the pool, may circumvent this risk. If the crocodile succeeds on a bite attack, it hauls the victim into the pool where the character begins to drown. The Warlord fights with a massive battle axe, trying to batter his foes into the pool. On any successive melee attack roll of 17+, the Warlord's target must succeed on a DC 10 reflex save or be knocked into the pool. While swimming is child's play, judges should be sure to apply armor check penalties. Warlord is also armed with a quiver of javelins tipped with slivers of greenstone shards. Each can be used but once. When hurled, the greenstone slivers ignite with a brilliant green fire, dealing 1d5 plus 3 damage on a successful attack. Like the larger shards, these slivers can also be used to fuel spellburn, blah blah blah. If the Warlord is reduced to 5 hit points or less, he attempts one last desperate feat, seizing hold of a foe and hurling himself into the pool to drown. Okay. Alright, and we also have an extra Beakman guard here. Number 3 on our list. So he's here. This is an ancient giant crocodile, so this is +7 on its attack, 5d4 damage. This thing's quite monstrous. I don't know, but you know, the one that we have is pretty dangerous as well, and we didn't get to use it, so we'll just stick with our normal giant crocodile. 18 defense is pretty fucking high. But the Warlord himself, he's got +3 melee, dealing 1d10 +3, or the Javelin +3, 1d5 +6 damage, 15 AC, 18 HP. He's honestly not insanely threatening. I might put him at difficulty 4 if I want to stretch things. And he's meant to be kind of intimidating, I think. So, we'll go with that. So let me find a raider, because now we're using raiders for Beakmen. You know, I got 2 books that I have to keep flipping back and forth in. Okay, so a difficulty 4 raider would be a named raider. Yikes. This guy's fucks. 15 defense, 50 health. When he gets a failure on a roll to attack, he can use this talent, Kill Everyone, to turn the failure into a success. He can do that once per minute. He has the vicious trait, so he rolls twice, takes the higher result. His great axe, which has the brutal trait, he rolls +4 with 1 boon, dealing 4d6 damage. And if he crits, one enemy within the named raider's reach other than the target of the attack makes an agility roll. On a failure, the enemy takes 1d6 damage from a glancing blow. So he's got like a little mini cleave. I feel like he's probably harder. I think that's probably harder than they intended. 18 HP. You know, everything in DCC is pretty glass cannon-y, you know? The players are glass cannons. The enemies are glass cannon. Because like I said, my example warrior here, warrior, can deal 1d10 plus 1 damage. So it'd be pretty possible for 2 warriors to just kill this warlord in 1 turn. Where it would be very difficult for 2 of our characters to kill him in 1 turn with 50 health. So we could instead, since the raiders are a little overtuned anyways, we could go for the raider berserker, difficulty 2, 12 defense, 20 health. He has the vicious trait. He rolls +2 with 1 boon for 3d6 damage. Again, also brutal. Whenever he causes a target to become injured or incapacitated, he can then make an unarmed attack against it. And at the end of the round, he can rampage until the end of the next round. He increases his speed by 3, rolls to attack with 2 boons, and his attacks deal an extra 1d6 damage. Then he loses access to this talent, Luck Ends. So he could be rampaging basically the whole fight, dealing 4d6 damage. So yeah, well, let's go with the Berserker. I think it's tough enough. So, Beakmen Warlord. Defense 12. Health 20. Speed of 6. Vicious. I'll just put that down. And Battle Axe. +2 with 1 boon. 3d6. Strike again. This is a reaction. When attack causes target to be injured or incapacitated, make an unarmed attack. And rampage. End of round, rampage until end of the next round. Increase speed by 3. Roll to attack with 2 boons. And deal an extra 1d6. Then lose access. Luck Ends. Pretty good, man. It's pretty damn good. Okay, how are we going to approach this? So we just kind of enter this room. We see this pool of water. He's gazing into the still inky pool at its feet. You know, he looks kind of out of it, but he does look intimidating. We'd certainly want to kill him because he's a Beakman, and they're all quite evil. And we know that some Weasley guard ran this direction, so... You know, who knows where he is, but this guy knows we're coming. There's nothing. I mean, he's not attacking immediately, but... Oh, also, we didn't give him his javelins. Shit. Those should also be in play. Most raiders don't seem to use any ranged weapons. The raider scout has a bow, but it's not really... Okay, fuck it. Just do this. Javelin, +2 with 1 boon, 2d6. Done. Okay. So, yeah, I think we're planning on attacking him. If he's just gonna sit there, I mean, we'll throw everything we got at him. We might be able to smoke him in 1 round. Which I think you could reasonably do in Dungeon Crawl Classic as well. So, we're gonna go with this. Sir Martin has no ranged options. We'll probably want to look into that in the future. He could throw a dagger, but that's range 5. I think we need bigger than that. Garvis, obviously, is going to shoot an arrow. I think Felix is going to cast Sanctified Weapon. Yeah, we'll just do that. So he's going to cast that. Yeah, Sir Martin has nothing he can really do. He could hinder him, I guess, but... Yeah, okay. And then Euclid is going to cast... Scorching Ray. And we're going to queue this all up and do it simultaneously. Because that's how things are done. Never underestimate the Alpha Strike. So his agility, just because we need to know now, is an 11. So we'll roll this first. We'll roll with 1 boon. We could use one of these glowing stones to get another boon. I don't know. Was I going to add damage onto this or something? I don't think so. I think it's just a boon. So we're going to roll with 2 boons to guarantee we get a higher result. We'll roll... Oh, yeah, it's definitely... So that's a 17 plus 2. Not a crit, unfortunately, but 4d6 damage. Ooh, shit roll, man. Shit-ass roll. Alright, so he's at 12. Just think, that could have killed him in 1 shot. If we had rolled well enough. But, it is possible for Garvis to kill him. So, he's shooting. He's got trickery. Also rolled a 14. We like that. Okay, good. It's a crit, but that doesn't matter. 3d6 damage. 10. Not too bad. Warlord's at 2 health as he just gets double fisted with Scorching Ray and an arrow. If you're just gonna sit there like a little bitch ass, don't be surprised when I just alpha strike you like that. You think that was a surprise round? I mean, I guess. I would not have called for combat if I was the DM. And I think that would probably throw some of them off that I didn't call for combat and this guy's just sitting there. So, yeah, if you do that, as soon as you do it, then combat starts. So now they could all take the initiative and just end him. Definitely Garvis is going to take the initiative. Maybe we'll leave it at that. The others will just be like, what the fuck is this thing? What's going on? Why is this happening? But Garvis will take the initiative on the first round. He rolled another 14, shockingly. And 8 more damage. Warlord dead. Good thing I came up with all those stats and wrote them down and wasted our time. Fucking DED dead. Yeah, maybe I should have given him 50 health. If you're going to give the players an alpha strike round like that, you probably want to bump up his health. I could have, though, as a DM, seen that at the end of the alpha strike he has 2 health left and just scribbled that and changed it to like 32 health left, you know. Well, that was a little too easy. Let me adjust that. You live and learn. Okay, but they still have to deal with the crocodile, which is now going to burst out in anger. And there is the other Beakman guard. All right, so the that was the initiative round, to take the initiative. So now the crocodile bursts out, and it's going to attack Sir Martin, who's going to dodge, of course. No reason not to dodge, so that nullifies the boon, and he has to roll a 15 or higher, which he did. Surprise, surprise. So that's 3d6 damage, 11. So Sir Martin is incapacitated. And there's a grab attempt, which I'm pretty sure is an automatic success. Seems weird if it wasn't. You automatically fail all attribute rolls. You grant 3 boons on rolls against you. Oh, I've been doing incapacitate a little wrong. I've been doing it where if you make the roll, you heal damage, and if you fail the roll, you lose 1d6 health. But you actually lose the health first, and then make the luck roll. So no matter what, when you go down, you're losing. And that's to prevent you from just constantly ping-ponging. Eventually, you will, almost certainly, unless you're constantly getting healed the same round, you'll lose enough health that you'll just die. But yes, okay, so he gets a grab attempt. He does get 3 boons against Sir Martin, which is not good. So it's strength or agility against the target's agility. Honestly, again, I feel like he has no agility, but it doesn't say that anywhere. Because he's not held. So, yeah, unconscious does not mean that you're automatically grabbed. That seems weird, doesn't it? Seems very weird. Oh, maybe your defense is 0? No, it just says you automatically fail all attribute rolls. But Martin isn't rolling, so I'm not quite sure. Like, I think rules maybe as intended, you should be automatically grabbed. I mean, 3 boons against his agility. So he's got basically a +9 against Sir Martin's 12 agility. Almost certainly going to get grabbed either way. I can roll. Okay, he rolled a fucking 20 either way. It doesn't matter. So he's grabbed. If the crocodile succeeds on a bite attack, it hauls the victim into the pool where the character begins to drown, suffering 1d6 points of stamina damage per round. So, yeah, the crocodile bursts out, bites Sir Martin in the chest, and drags him back into the pool of water. That's very bad if you're taking notes at home. The Beakmen guard then is going to rush out towards Felix, and he's going to try to hatchet him. Felix will dodge, of course. So this is just a +1, and he failed. So now we have Felix's turn and Euclid's turn, because Garvis already went. We have to get Sir Martin out of the water where he's in the clutches of a giant crocodile. What the fuck am I gonna do? Okay, the grab text does say that you end a grab if you become confused, controlled, stunned, or unconscious. And Dazzling Flash does cause a target to become confused. Very important, especially when we were talking about dogpiling on somebody. Having a way to, like, mass confuse a whole pack of enemies that are grabbing someone is pretty good to keep in mind. So Euclid is actually finally going to use Dazzling Flash on the giant crocodile, which has a 45% chance of ending the grab. The other option is to try and just destroy the giant crocodile, but it has 40 health. And I don't have any other way of, like, rescuing Sir Martin other than, like, climbing in and trying to get him out of his mouth. Yeah, not good. So we're going to try Dazzling Flash. Alright, so here's the giant crocodile's luck roll. Rolled a 14. So, not confused. Fuck. Felix. We have basically no option here. So he's just going to swing at this guard, and we're going to get him out of the way for now. Sir Martin can hold on for a little bit, right? Except, Crushing Jaws, the crocodile's next turn, he's just going to deal 3d6 damage. It's pretty bad, man. But yeah, we got to deal with this guy. So roll with prayer, of course. So that's 10. That's a miss. And I already used my reaction on dodging. Not that Battle Blessing, like, changes it into a hit or anything. Oh, wait, I did use Sanctify Weapon. So I do have an extra boon. Fuck. Doesn't make a difference. Okay, miss. New round. Well, not quite. Let me roll for prayer. Okay, we have prayer again. And now we need to do the D6 health to Sir Martin, which is 5. And then he makes his luck roll. He succeeds, so he is conscious. He's just in the belly of the beast. He's in the mouth of the beast. Now, suffocation normally does not kick in for a minute. The Chaos Leviathan from last time had that drowning aura that we put in to make it immediately occur. But normally suffocation does not occur for a minute. So I don't think we really have to worry about that just yet. When you go without breathing for 1 minute or longer. Yeah, so he's not suffocating yet. He was just taking normal damage. The biggest concern, and the big concern, is that he is still within the jaws of this crocodile, and that croc is about to bite down. So we are grabbed. Again, let me... So the target becomes held. Right now he is held. So his speed drops to 0, and creatures rolling against your agility get an automatic success. But that's it. So he can take reactions, and he's gonna take the initiative. Because now he needs to attempt to escape by making a strength or agility roll against the strength or agility of the creature that has you held. I don't... Well, okay, so its strength is definitely +3. It's a 13. I don't know... I don't even know what creature we caught. Oh, the giant beetle, I think. Yeah, the giant beetle is what we copied. So that's agility is 9. So we're going to be rolling our strength versus its agility of 9. Which means we need a 6 or higher. But I would request prayer. I'm going to request prayer from Felix for this to work. Good thing I did. We only got a 6 plus 4. Okay. Thank God. Thank God for prayer. You don't hear that too often. Good. So we slip out. We're in the water. We're next to the giant crocodile. And that was our whole turn. So, not good. Because the croc's probably just going to bite us again. Garvis is going to take the initiative. He's going to try to shoot this guard. Right here. Boom. That's a hit. 3d6. 7 damage. God damn it. 3d6 is supposed to average out to 11. On average, Garvis should be killing every time he shoots. He rarely seems to do it. Felix used his reaction on prayer. And so, that's, you know, you probably, if you were the Sir Martin player, you probably would have tried to communicate. Say, no, you don't take initiative. I'm going to need the prayer for when I try to escape. So we did that. So the only one that else can do it is Euclid. Might be useful just to end this guard. Or putting Pain on the croc to nullify the boon. That's probably better. So, yeah, we're going to take the initiative and use Pain on the croc. He becomes weakened, luck ends. So he gets 1 Bane on all his strength and agility. And he grants 1 boon on rolls against his strength and agility. So if he happens to grab someone again. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Okay, then the enemies go. The guard is going to swing at Felix. He misses. Yeah, definitely misses. And then the crocodile is going to try to rebite Sir Martin. So now it's just a +3. No boon because he's weakened. And that's a 14, which is a miss. Had he had a boon, he still would have missed. Okay. Well, still. It was worth it. Okay, and then lastly, Felix gets to take his turn. He's going to swing at this guard. He doesn't have prayer. He does have sanctified weapon. But it doesn't matter. He missed. Damn you, D20 rolls. Okay, fresh round. I think Sir Martin wants to get the fuck out of the pool. I think that's prudent. So swimming, like most other difficult things, is going to be double movement cost. Oh, and while swimming, you make rolls to attack with 1 Bane, and you grant 1 boon on rolls to attack you. Okay, so that example roll that we did was actually with the actual roll, because he did still have a boon, but thankfully he did miss. So yeah, we want to get the fuck out of the pool of water. It is not good. We are not meant for water. So Sir Martin either has to take the initiative and then run and take a free attack, which will have 2 Banes on him, or 2 Boons on him, or he has to wait and not use his reaction for that, take an attack with 2 hits on him, 2 Boons on him, and then retreat to avoid the free attack. I mean, either way, it's swinging at him. Well, it won't be 2 Boons, because he is still... Well, actually, we don't know if he's still weakened. Luck roll for prayer. No prayer. Luck roll for his weakened. He is no longer weakened. Okay, so it is 2 Boons. Well, we could put pain on him again. Could put pain on him again. You know, we want to get the croc out of the water. That's his element. It's not our element. We want to get him out of the water. So Felix not about to charge into the water. Garvis is going to take the initiative. Well, fuck it. Felix is going to take the initiative. He's going to swing at this Beakmen. Okay, he finally hit. Pretty much guaranteed to kill him. Almost certain. Yeah. 4DC. Yeah, he was guaranteed. Okay, so the final guard is dead. Garvis is going to take the initiative to shoot at the crocodile. I think you can do... Okay, so you can do a called shot. You roll with 2 Banes. On a success, the target becomes impaired in an attribute of your choice until the end of the next turn. So we could do that. But I feel like he's not likely to hit. But if we impair his strength and put pain on him again, making him weakened, he would not be able to roll with any boons against Sir Martin as he runs away. So it's maybe worth a shot. We'd roll with 1 Bane on the roll with trickery. And I have +4. She's got a defense of... Oh, God, it's got a defense of 18. I forgot. Christ, that's high. No, we can't do that then. We need boons. Okay, so Garvis is just going to shoot normally. Alright, we hit 3d6 damage. Well, that's more like it. Okay. Croc. 28 health left. Okay, fuck it. Let's just try and kill this thing. Sir Martin might go down again, but we're just gonna try to kill it. Maybe I should make it vulnerable, though. Sure, we're gonna use Split the Skin. So he's vulnerable, luck ends. And then each time he makes the luck roll, he takes 1d6. So he's guaranteed to take at least 1d6. In that case, so for Sir Martin to swing in the water, pretty bad, because he's submerged. The swim section says that he makes rolls to attack with 1 Bane, but then there's also a special thing in the combat thing for being submerged. When you attack with a weapon other than a natural weapon and you're submerged in a liquid, you roll with 1 Bane. The Sage might disallow attacks with certain weapons such as bows, slings, and weapons with the slow trait. He does have a weapon with a slow trade. So maybe he can't even swing. And that probably makes the most sense. I don't think swinging a longsword underwater is going to do much. So, fuck it. Sir Martin has to get out of here. He's going to risk his biscuit. He's just going to try to run. And slip out of the water and get to the back of the room. So he doesn't have any reaction. He's not retreating or anything. He's just running. And, the thing has no banes. And it has an extra boon on Martin. So he's rolling +3 with 2 boons. But hey, if he rolls shitty, then he rolls shitty. He rolled an 18. He did not roll shitty. So 3d6 damage. Doesn't matter. He's down. And the grab attempt... yeah, I think it automatically succeeds. I don't think there's any funny business about it. It just doesn't make any sense for it to be a roll. Despite what the rules might say about the matter. Okay. End of round, then. Actually, that was his free attack. Oh, God. Fourth edition D&D, I think 13th age as well. If you make an opportunity attack, it's just like a basic attack with no riders or no extra funny stuff. So that would ignore that free grab attempt. But I don't know if this has the same thing, because all it says, you can use a reaction to attack it using a melee weapon, natural weapon, improvised weapon, or unarmed attack. So I'm pretty sure it just uses their stat block. What other information would you have for monsters? You know, they don't have a basic attack listed other than what's listed. So yeah, I think you just do the whole thing. And that makes it really dangerous to run away from a crocodile. Go figure. Which means that on the croc's turn, he's going to crush. So Sir Martin is now going to take 3d6 damage. And of course, there I roll obscenely well. 15 damage. I think he's going to die. I think Sir Martin is actually going to die. Because now he's down to 2 health. And at the end of the round, he takes 1d6 health damage. And if he rolls anything other than a 1, he's dead. Okay, so end of round, he rolls 1d6. He rolled a... Sir Martin. Well, we have 2 options here. I either fudge it, and we leave him at 1 health, which is basically dead. It's not good. It's not good. I don't remember where the rules are for recovering health and like resting and stuff, but we're not getting any rest anytime soon. So either fudge it and say that he rolled a 1. Or he dies, and we have to finish out the rest of this thing with 3 characters. It's funny that I made the crocodile so much more dangerous than the warlord. That was a mistake. That should be the other way around. I should have given the warlord 40 health and the crocodile 20. But it was mostly just about him being in the water and being grabbed. I mean, it's worst case scenario for a crocodile. If you have uninterrupted rest for 6 consecutive hours, you heal all damage and regain health equal to 1/10 your normal health score. Jeez. 1/10 his normal health score would be 2. So it's going to take him weeks. No, not. Maybe a couple weeks or something. Well, basically like 10 days to get back to normal health. Fuck. And we still have bare minimum. I assume we want to get to the top 1-9 because that's where the master is. Yeah, so the master is like the actual boss. Look at this astral shadow with 8 forms and the master shooting black bolts and stuff. We're fucked, man. I think I have over-tuned this a little bit. Christ. And this giant crocodile, I mean, we did, yeah, we added on the crushing jaw thing from the normal crocodile. So that is a factor. But all the rest of the stats are from the giant beetle, which is a difficulty 4 creature. So really we fought 2 difficulty 4 creatures, but honestly, the warlord wasn't a fight. So really we fought 1 difficulty 4 creature. It's just we fought him in his element. I don't know. Because I don't like my chances of continuing on regardless. You know, if he has 1 health or if he's dead. Either way, I don't like my chances too much of winning. Because we're not really being that clever here. Sort of. I mean, we killed the warlord easily. Well, if you were at the table, he would die, right? I mean, most of the time, the character would die, and you'd have to accept that. But you would replace him. You wouldn't tell the player to just, yeah, you're out for the rest of his adventure. So they would get a replacement. The nature of how that character would be reintroduced. Some DMs like to have some sort of logical reintroduction. Me, when I run things, I often hand wave that shit because I don't care, and most of the time players don't really care. They just want to get back into it. So it's just like, yeah, they show up and they're there. So I guess he'll die, but to be honest, like, I'm just gonna replace him with largely identical character. Maybe I'll switch it up a little bit, but he was pretty good. There's not many choices I could make, but I might make him a non-human, and we give that a try. Because I could actually make him a dwarf with the dwarf novice path. And we could give that a go. But, okay. So, he's dead. He died. We just hear this awful crunch, and blood fills the pool. And we know that it's over for Sir Martin. 0 health. Dead. But we're still in this. That was the crocodile's turn, so now it's a new round. Garvis is going to shoot again, take the initiative and shoot. He... it's an 18 defense. I keep forgetting that, but he does hit. 3d6. 6 damage! Come on! I just rolled 3d6 and got 15! Fuck! Okay, 6 damage, 23. Oh, also we need to roll for prayer. No prayer. And we need to roll for his vulnerable. So he's going to take 1d6 regardless. He takes 4 more damage from that. And now the luck roll for vulnerable. Okay, so he's no longer vulnerable, and that was it. And I think we're gonna back away from the pool now. And Felix not gonna go in. He's not gonna take the initiative. He's just gonna stand there waiting for this thing to come in, you know, come forward and come to him. Because he's probably gonna get grabbed. So we want to debuff the Croc again. So we're gonna put pain on him again with Euclid. And then the Croc goes. The Croc's gonna burst out of the water now. I mean, I don't know why it would. You think it would just go down to the bottom and munch on the corpse that it has. Ignore these arrows coming at it. But no, it's gonna burst out. It lost its master. It's angry. And it's going to charge towards Felix. So it is weakened. It doesn't have the extra boon from being in the water, so this is just +3 against Felix 13. And Felix is going to dodge, because he has a reaction. So this is actually with a Bane. And that's good, because that makes the difference. Fuck, it does not make the difference. You got a 14. So 3d6 damage to Felix is 9, putting him at 14, incapacitated. The grab attempt automatically succeeds. So Felix's body is in the mouth of the Croc, and a new round starts, which is really a bummer because Felix was about to smack this thing hard. We got a luck roll for prayer. No prayers. Prayers are dead. Prayers are gone. And we got the luck roll for weakened. Alright, he is still weakened. That's good. Garvis is going to shoot again. It's just one boon as far as I can tell. Alright, he definitely hits. 3d6, another 9 damage. Croc's at 10 health now. We're getting there. Euclid probably is just going to lesser ruin. Because if we can get a good roll here, just get a fucking average roll of 3d6, we'll do this. Make it happen, man. Oh, also I didn't roll for Felix death roll. Okay, let me roll that first. So this is his 1d6 damage. 6, of course. So he's at 8 health. And now the luck roll to see if he gets back up. He does not. He's still in there. But good thing I wasted that 3. Oh, no, this is just 3d6. Okay, here are the 3d6. Fuck! Dude, we're never getting... Croc's at 3 health. So that was a fresh round. Felix doesn't get a turn because he's incapacitated. And now the Croc is just going to crunch down. Because why wouldn't it? That's the smartest thing for it to do, other than a morale check and it runs away. But it's not going to drop Felix's body. It'll just take him and dive into the water. So either way, Felix is going to have to take this 3d6. I feel like that might be all a bit extreme. But only it's because he never has to make a grab attempt. Because he keeps killing people that he bites. Alright, 3d6. And I get a 9. Which means that Felix is also dead. Christ, man. Fresh round. Garvis takes a shot. Misses. And Euclid will use his last lesser ruin. For another 3d6 damage. There, I get 13 finally. And the Croc's dead. Okay, yeah. Probably a bit overtuned. 3d6 with an automatic grab attempt and then a guaranteed 3d6 as a follow-up. That's all very dangerous. Perhaps overtuned. It's hard to tell sometimes, though. If anything, probably that in combination with an 18 defense is too much. Yeah. So bummer. But aside from those two, I mean, Garvis is still doing pretty much fine. He's taking some damage, but he's fine. And Euclid is going to use spell recovery now. So we heal half his damage total. So he goes down to 5 damage. And he gets back all these spells, which puts him in a pretty good spot. He gets Wall of Radiance again, 3 Scorching Rays. His heals are back. So he's doing okay, actually. And then we're getting 2 fresh characters, another fighter and another priest. But I have to make them by the rules, which means we're not going to come in with this plate and mail armor, unfortunately. So I'll make them on my own. I won't do that at the start of the next video. There's just too much to go over. And yeah, I mean, I'll probably take some different spells. I might make them into a different kind of priest. Yeah. Damn. All right. I think that's where we're going to stop then, so I can make the new characters. And next time we'll go through... I mean, probably just doing 1.7, 1.8, and 1.9 is, like, going to be enough of a video, really. So, without even stepping over into 1.3. So that's probably what'll happen. Tough little adventure here, at least the way that I'm running it. It's always the trouble with conversions. But shockingly, it almost feels like having ChatGPT do the conversions was a bit smoother. But maybe I say smoother when really I just mean easy. And now I'm actually getting challenged because I'm using proper stat blocks from the book. That could be the case. Alright, anyways. My name is Mang. This has been Solo Roll Manging, Shadow of the Weird Wizard, Shadow of the Beakmen. I'll see you fine folks in the next part.